Have you ever been bored in your dorm waiting for that next monthly, weekly challenge to arrive? Or you've just been kicked back to your dorm because you're simply a legend at paintball and need to let off some steam? Hey guys, I'm Jeremy in VR, I'm a creator here inside Rec Room, and today I'm going to show you how to build your very own punching bag inside your dorm. Sorry Chuck, it's nothing personal, we can still be friends. Before we start building, let's first come up with a game plan so we know what we're going to do. We will first start by creating a box. Inside, we are going to hide a bowling ball. Then we will create a chain to hold the punching bag, and then we will create our punching bag. In Rec Room Orange, of course. Then, to make it function properly, we are going to add a clamp. We will then connect the clamp to both the bowling ball and the punching bag. And to add a little extra weight to the punching bag, we might even hide another bowling ball inside the punching bag and clamp that as well. Okay, let's get started. First, you must take out your Makerpen. If you go to Backpack, and then Makerpen, click on Use. Then grab your Makerpen. Okay, first we will build the box that will hold the bowling ball that will help be the pivot point for our punching bag to swing. So go to Palette, then Shapes, and then Cube. And if you go to Swatches, I have mine set to black and shiny metal. So now if we go to Tools, we can start creating our box. I'm going to have my snapping on Grid, and it's also on World Space. Okay, so first I will start creating my box. I will go to Manipulate and click on my box, and I will create the first plane. Next, I'll go to Clone. I'm turning my snapping off for now, and I will clone the second wall. Now I can rotate the wall, and clicking on the blue circle, it'll rotate at 90 degrees. Now let's move this in place on the side. I'll move it up a bit. Now I will clone it and bring it to the other side. And selecting both of these, I will clone it one more time in the middle, and I will rotate it by clicking on the green circle. Alright, now that we have our box, we are going to put a bowling ball inside so that it will be the pivot point that holds the punching bag and allows it to swing. So going back to our Makerpen, if we go to Palette, we can search for the bowling ball. So type in bowling, and there it is. So select bowling ball, and now we can create the bowling ball and place it inside. Now that we have the bowling ball inside, let's scale the bowling ball to make it fit just perfectly inside. We want some space in between the edges, but not much. Okay, now I'm going to select both the bowling ball and the box, and now I can move it in place. Let's scale them both together to make it a little bit smaller. Okay, now let's create the chain that will hold the punching bag. So to do so, go to Palette, and then Shapes, and we are going to create the chain using the donut. I'm going to change the color to white. Okay, going back to Tools, I'm going to turn my snapping back on to Grid, and now I can create my chain. Now click on Rotate, click on the donut, and click on the red circle to rotate at 90 degrees. I'm going to turn my snapping back off, and I will click Manipulate and bring one side in to look more like a chain. Now, let's use Scale, and clicking on the white box in the middle, let's scale it down to make it smaller. Now let's click Done, and now we have our chain object. Now I'm going to click on Configure, click on the chain, and let's change the physics mode to decoration. That'll help so the chain does not get in the way of the box and keep it from moving. Now I'm going to hit Clone and click the down arrow once. Now we have the second chain link, and I'm going to rotate it, and now I'm going to click on the green circle to rotate it 90 degrees, and let's move it up so it looks like they're connected. Perfect. Now, because I just cloned one object and manipulated the object, I can go back to clone, and it will remember what I did for the second one, and if I hit repeat clone, it'll do the same. It'll clone the chain down 1, twist it 90 degrees, and move it up. So if I continue to do repeat clone, it will continue to make the chain. So now, let's select all the chains, click on options, and let's merge them. So now it's one object. Now let's click on move, click on the chain, and let's move it into place. Okay, now it's time to build the punching bag. So to do so, I'll go back to Palette, Shapes, and for this I'm going to use a cylinder. I will go to swatches so I can change the color. I'll change that to orange. And for the material, I will use cloth. Let me go back to tools, and let's turn back the snapping to grid. And now I can create my punching bag. Now let's move the punching bag into place, and we can now manipulate it down and scale it to be whatever size we want it to be. Alright, now we have all the pieces we need for our punching bag. Now it's time to clamp it all together. To do that, we will go to our Makerpen and click on Palette and search and type in clamp. Select the clamp and spawn it in somewhere nearby. Now we will connect the clamp to the bowling ball, to the chain, and to the punching bag. To do that, we will go to Tools, Connect. We will click on this part of the clamp right here and drag it to the chain. And we'll do the same to the punching bag. The bowling ball will be a little different. First, we need to access the bowling ball, so I will go to Manipulate, and I'll click one side of the box, and from the top, I will drag down. Now I can see the bowling ball, so click Done, go to Connect, and we're going to connect this part of the clamp to the bowling ball, not this part. Now we can select Manipulate, and click on this wall again, and close it up. Now the final step is we will go to Configure, click on the punching bag, and we will need to change that physics mode from environment to physical. By changing the punching bag's physics mode to physical, it gives the punching bag gravity, which allows it to swing. Because there's no weight to the punching bag, it swings like it's floating, so let's add some weight to it. Let's add another bowling ball and hide it inside the punching bag. Let's go to Palette, and in Search, type in bowling again, and select the bowling ball. Now, spawn in the bowling ball, and let's right away connect it with the clamp. So select the bowling ball, and drag it and connect it to the same part up here that's connected to the punching bag and the chain. Now, we can move it and hide it inside the punching bag. And now with the added weight, the punching bag doesn't float around when it swings. And there you have it, your very own dorm room punching bag. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing as it helps me out a lot. I'll see you in the next video. Adios!